every time we type a prompt on AI, does it have a carbon footprint? Does it?
Yes, absolutely. It has
Scary.
got direct impact. And the carbon upsetting individual or institutions, countries or continents.
How energy is generated.
That is precisely, you said it. See, if it comes from clean energy, if it comes from renewable energy, solar or wind or biofuel or biomass, if the data centers are going to generate
Is ChatGPT actually bad for the planet? Every time we're typing a prompt, are we actually typing a carbon footprint? Welcome to the Green Generation podcast. I am Shruti Seetharaman, your host for this episode. I'm also a content creator, a media entrepreneur, and someone who's a sustainability advocate and curious about how we can make more sustainable choices for a better living. Joining me today in conversation is Dr. Seetharaman, who is a global thought leader, author of Corporate Consciousness, and a long-time advocate for everything sustainability. So the question that we're asking today is all about, is AI actually, or the AI habit, is it helping our planet or is it quietly harming it, right? So let's start simple. Very basics. Does ChatGPT actually consume energy?
it is. It's consuming enormous amount of energy. For example, if you compare Google search with ChatGPT, I can say easily, the dynamics of the information generation in ChatGPT is consuming enormous amount of energy. Now, if I have to interpret, the global electricity, if you look at it, it's 1 to 2% of the global electricity is started with. Now it's with the advent of so much interpretations. Now everyone is into ChatGPT, irrespective of age. This is generating huge challenge in terms of energy management, electricity or water. And we have a beautiful tool which is going to generate huge value advantage for human upliftment. At the same time, energy consumption needs to be measured, managed, controlled. And that's the challenge we have.
So question is, every time we type a prompt on AI, does it have a carbon footprint? Does it?
Yes, absolutely. It has
Scary.
got direct impact. And the carbon upsetting individual or institutions, countries or continents should look at objectively. And that's why you do it through data center. And it's not only generation of the information, the allied impact on the data center. It's not for computing alone, it's cooling the system. How do you cool the systems? Because so much interconnectivity it requires to generate language models. And if it comes from responsible sources through responsible energy with responsible regulation, including ethical management, and if you have controls in terms of modeling, then it makes sense.
Okay, and now it brings me brings me to a question which says, is AI actually more harmful for the planet than traditional technology?
I wouldn't use the word harmful for this planet. It's a useful tool. If it is used properly, if the right infrastructure is given, why it should be harmful? The value and the positivity it is going to generate in terms of information age, intelligent society, interpretation of information for human upliftment, development of spheres for sustainability are all valued, positive vibes. That's the way to lift the world. Financial inclusion will take place. Poverty alleviation will take place. You have huge opportunity in terms of healthcare through AI. Daily measurement of your subsistence, including your day-to-day pattern of living, lifestyle management. So there are values more than the some of the challenges we have in terms of AI. And that's what I will conclude.
Yeah, and to talk about companies like Microsoft or Google, they're both companies that heavily invested in renewable-powered data centers.
Yeah.
And Microsoft also hopes to be carbon negative by 2030.
Yes.
So the bigger question is, it's not just AI, right? It's also about how energy is generated.
That is precisely, you said it. See, if it comes from clean energy, if it comes from renewable energy, solar or wind or biofuel or biomass, if the data centers are going to generate language models which are absolutely purpose driven and the infrastructure is all clean, then why it should be a threat? Google saves nearly 40% of the current electricity consumption by deploying on renewables.
Yeah.
So it's what sort of energy you're using, what matters than saying that data center is going to explode, the cooling system is going to explode, water system is going to explode. You don't need to say that. You have to put the right infrastructure and put the right governance in terms of ethical and moral governance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talking about cooling,
Yeah.
we're talking about water usage, right?
Yeah.
We don't talk enough about that. So what do you have to say?
Water cooling is very, very important. Water consumption is huge when it comes to data center management and giving the conditions required for these hardwares and software tools which are huge in substance, and it requires enormous amount of composition.
Yeah.
So trillions of dollars are being invested in few pockets of the world for data centers. Now, allied impact in terms of global warming and climate change, if it is not backed up by right infrastructure, including renewable energy, climate conducive technologies, climate conducive models. So what will happen is explosion of carbon. So it will do harm. But why do you need to take that part, like Google, like Microsoft, go on right infrastructure and bundle it up and create only through clean energy, you will evolve your data centers. And it's a paradise. Then it becomes a purposeful world, isn't it? Instead of seeing the threat, let's look at the right methodology to comprehend, to create opportunities. And that's what I would interpret in real time.
Yeah, and I think what we're looking at is the cons of it.
Yeah.
But are we also forgetting that it can also be a climate solution?
It is. That's what I'm coming to. If you have agricultural prediction, if you have food security, if you can predict rising sea levels and avoid disasters, and if you also have predictive intelligence in terms of dynamic weather patterns, then you will prevent the panics. That's a positive development. The technology needs to be embraced and used productively by the right infrastructure. Then it's going to give a sustainable value advantage. Say, it will reduce the global warming.
Yeah.
It'll also eliminate extreme poverty. It'll give you food security. It'll also, avoid disaster. That's what matters. How you deploy the technology, what infrastructure you develop.
Absolutely. So, do you think AI is also accelerating sustainable innovation?
Yes. There are a lot of value advantage. Now, every segment of your lifestyle, AI can play a role. So, it is recognition of the fact that we need to create a social justice, freedom, and again, making sure democratization of AI takes place. It's available to everyone, whether you are rich or poor, strong or weak, marginalized society, or for financial inclusion. Everywhere, if you should look at it objectively, a life on water, life under sea, AI can be deployed.
Yeah.
And you can protect animal extinction even. So this is interpretation of the right tools in the right frame with the right methodology.
Yeah. So tell me, what actually is the real debate here about AI or ChatGPT?
The real debate is, number one, ethically you should govern. Because it has got a power to interpret, but it's not a human. Emotionally, it is not governed. So it goes by pattern, algorithms.
Yeah.
So you have to necessarily put a clean energy so that you don't create fire in the flame. Use clean water, clean infrastructure in terms of language models, and again, predictive intelligence in terms of weather patterns. And also sourcing in such a way like sovereign intelligence is created when it comes to digital public infrastructure, so that the chat becomes more purposeful. Citizenship is more well governed and empowering the citizens, individuals, then country becomes prosperous. So ChatGPT is not a threat. It is an opportunity to recognize and with the right infrastructure.
The bigger question for individuals is our overuse of AI actually posing to be a problem?
Overuse is always a problem. Anything excess is dangerous, isn't it?
Fair.
So it is not a human, let's understand this. It throws its intelligence based on the information, on the data which you have supplemented. How accurate the data is all about how garbage in, garbage out. So if you put a garbage in, then it will give you wrong interpretation. That's why human intervention is required. That is why ethical frame is required. That's why government regulation is required, whether trade or investments or business banking, or finance. You need to have a proper framework. And that's where government plays a role, digital public infrastructure plays a role, individuals should not use excessive usage is dangerous because you are only harming yourself. Then your over-dependency can cost you. You will not be in a position to think. You will have people who have overused these technologies have depression. We have seen around the world, people are, really suffering on account of technology. There is a huge problem also cropping up because of overusage.
So what do you think responsible AI actually looks like?
Responsible AI is with the right infrastructure, number one. Number two, with right language models. Number three, with right regulation. Number four, you have democratization. Number five, sovereign intelligence protects national security. It's for the people, by the country, not only access to this information, control with every nation. Every nation is independent. Because it's power, end of the day. You don't want a third party to come and set up your infrastructure and having a complete intelligence of yours in third party hands. Then you are a slave.
Yeah.
So that is where sovereign intelligence plays a role. So good AI should look like democratization and national security, individual security, and individual empowerment. And good for the planet.
Absolutely. And I think it would be the best way to sort of end this episode is to go back to what we started with. So is ChatGPT actually bad for the planet?
Absolutely not. It's good for this planet. It has to be regulated.
Yeah.
It has to be through a right climate solution.
Correct.
It has to be through right infrastructure, right language models, and again, with a clean energy.
Yeah.
So it can create value to this planet and live the human prosperity, dignity. And that's what the need of the hour is all about. It's use it wisely, methodology, deploy it for greater human prosperity.
Yeah, I think that means the question that needs to be asked isn't even is ChatGPT bad for the planet? It's more about, are we building AI responsibly enough? Correct?
That is what the summary is all about. We are all interconnected, interdependent in a society where one family. AI should enhance the state of the world.
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
Absolutely.
Let's put our collective endeavor towards the direction.
Yeah, and I think if we choose to be responsible about how we're developing and using AI, it could be one of our biggest climate allies of this generation, I feel.
That's right.
Okay, so if you enjoyed watching this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Of course, you can always comment for more questions. But until then, keep thinking green, keep thinking conscious, and keep thinking green generation. We will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.